10 hut. Hey guys, General Splatting here. Today I want to do a quick how-to video on how to paint Space Marine eye lenses. I just took a piece of aluminum foil and spray painted it to give me a background, and then I just drew out sort of some eye shapes to make them larger so you'll be able to see better what I'm trying to accomplish here. And hopefully my hand won't get in the way so it'll be too distracting. Alright, what I've done is, like I said, I've drawn out the eyes, a basic type shape, and then the first step in painting Space Marine eyes is to put over the entire eye area a layer of silver. Now what I've used here, and you can't really see it, but it is the Vallejo Model Air Silver. Very, very good paint, easy to apply and go on. It flows off the brush very, very nicely. Alright, so that's what you need to do. Get your brightest silver color. It could be GW, it could be Reaper, it could be P3, whatever it is, Vallejo, and put your brightest silver color down. Put it over the entire eye area and let that dry. Then what you want to come back with next, and I'm just using these because most everybody has a pot of 2 of these. You can use whichever inks you want or washes, but I'm just going to demo the Citadel washes because most everybody has them, and people will be asking, well, what about the Citadel washes, blah blah blah. So that's what we're going to be using today. Alright, the first one I'm going to do is ball red. I'm going to do a series of them to show you the different colors, and hopefully it'll turn out well, so you'll be able to see it on camera. Just go ahead and load up your brush. I'm using the Da Vinci Zero, by the way, if people want to know that. Now, what you want to do is start at the front of the eye, so this would be toward the bridge of the nose. Don't start in the rear because you want to get it darker as it goes back. So start at the front portion of the eye. You want to lay down one layer. Now this might be a little difficult because I'm painting over one eye, a larger area of the eye. In other words, if this was a Space Marine eye, I'd just lay my brush down and go straight back and I'd be done. Alright, that's what you want to do with the first one, is just get one layer on there. Now let that dry a moment. Then you come back and you get about a third of the way back. Don't go all the way to the front, get about a third of the way back, and then you, on the Space Marine, you just make one stroke backward. But in this instance I'm going to have to make several going back, and then take it back that way. Alright, see, it's starting to get a little darker as it goes backwards. Now let that dry a moment. And it's okay if it pulls toward the back because you want that dark. The last thing you'll need to do is get a third of the way back from that, so you're 2/3 away from the front of the eye, and put in another layer. See how it darkens right up? To be more pronounced on a actual eye. And that's all you got to do. See how it gets darker as you go back? You don't have to thin them. Maybe if you're using these washes by Citadel, you don't, or GW. But if you're using like an ink, I suggest you thin it down because an ink is much stronger pigmented than a wash is. So that would be red. Let's try another color here. Get my brush cleaned out. Let's try blue. Give blue a good shake. I hope the colors are translating. I'm going to skip that one because it's horribly done. Alright, start at the front of the eye again and just go work your way backward. You want to pull that paint back to the back corner, or the wash back. You want a very thin layer here. Like I said, if this was just a regular eye, all I had to do was lay it down and go backwards real quick. Alright, there's the first layer of blue. And the nice thing about having the silver underneath is that it really makes the eye pop, and you can really see the sheen of the thin wash over the silver. You can really see that sheen of the silver. Come back a third, get your next color. And like I said, you wouldn't be painting this in with lots of strokes. Generally it'd take one stroke, because as you put the tip down in the eye, obviously the wash is going to leach out, so capillary action is going to work for you. So all you got to do is just pull it back. But obviously, since this is a much bigger area, I have to make a lot of strokes. Okay, it's not quite dry yet, but we'll go ahead. 2/3 of the way back, you put in your last one, and there's your eye. See how you got the very shiny up front? It gets a little bit darker as you go backwards. Yeah, you can see it there. Alright, that's it for blue. Let's continue on. Let's do green. Same principle. Load up your brush, start front corner, go backwards. Alright. Now, 2/3 of the way back. And I'm not giving this ample time to dry in between coats, so you'll have to understand that. 1/3 back. And put it in there. Yeah, I need a little drying time in there. It's moving around too much on me. Okay. Then see what it'll look like. You're just putting it in here, but like I said, you need to let these dry in between coats. And there for the green. Alright. Get it out. Get another color. Let's do purple. Oops. Alright. Load up your brush. Front of the eye. Yeah, the purple's doing good. And there we go. And since the wash is very, very transparent and translucent, the silver is going to be showing through, like I said. And so once you get them completed, you'll really make that eye pop by doing this technique. And plus, putting a gloss varnish on top of it after you're completely finished will really make that eye stand out. Then come back a third. Need to let it dry first, but I don't have the time and the luxury to be able to do that. Just got to lay it in there and hope for the best. Let's get back up here a little so you can see it better. And then the last third. Okay. Check our work so far. Red, blue, green, and purple. Now let's do something a little different you might not have thought of. Let's try, I was talking to, well, I wasn't talking to, I left a comment, Keeper of the Fortress, was wanting to know about painting black eyes. Well, let's try Badab Black and see how that works. This ought to be interesting. Oops, a little too much. Alright, come in. And there you go for black. Now let's see if we can darken it up some. Alright, a third of the way down. Yep, I think that'll work. And then your final one. Cool. So you could do black eyes and still have some sheen to it, so you'd be able to see. So there you go, buddy. You can do black eyes my method. Alright, now one more. For kind of a realistic optic look like you see on rifle scopes today, and binoculars and whatnot, let's try Griffon Sepia, or Griffin Sepia. See what it does. Yep, brown just like a rifle scope. Alright. Come back a third. Need to let it dry. You get the idea though. And the last third. And since this one's not dry at all, I'll just goop it in there so you'll be able to see it. Yep, there we go. Alright, so you get a more modern day optic look with the Griffon Sepia. And you can use any color you want to. I just got some. You can put ochre and flesh in there. You can put purple ink. You can put pink ink, chartreuse ink, whatever you wish to. You can even put white ink in there if you wanted to. I've got white ink. Alright, recapping. There's the red, the blue, the green, the purple, even the black, and the sepia. Okay, so recapping, lay down your brightest silver color first over the entire eye, then take whatever wash or ink you wish to use, start at the front of the eye toward the bridge of the nose and the mouth, pulling it all the way back to the very end of the eye. Then come back with your wash or ink again, start a third of the way from the front of the eye, pulling it back toward the back of the eye, and then lastly, 2/3 of the way in on the eye, you put another layer. So you're getting progressively darker as you go along, and then you'll have kind of a mirror finish eye. You can really see it in this blue one here, how it starts light and works its way back toward the darker, and also the green one as well. It gets progressively darker as you go back toward the back of the eye. Then you can come back in and add your white highlight dot after that's over with, and everything's dry. So there you go. The sepia did turn out pretty good. So just remember to let them dry in between coats, folks. Well, if you have any questions or want to know more, just send me a comment or PM. Ask you to please rate and comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is General Splatton. I'll talk again. Dismissed.